I wanted to invite some individuals who weren't going to be able to make it in person so they can also benefit from this story and this inspiring and remarkable opportunity of sharing accomplishments. And of course, it's always our desire to acknowledge those from our community that have gone on to great achievements, but we do it with a purpose. And that is to let other young people know that they can do the same. You know, for me, and I've shared this story so often, it wasn't until I saw depictions through specific television shows that I can relate to. I always say this, a different world. Then I realized I can go to college. Prior to that, every time I would look at TV, I didn't see individuals that looked like me in college. Maybe one or two, but never a group of individuals that look like me that I could look to and say, if you can do it, I could do it. So it becomes so important to honor the stories of those that have come from similar backgrounds or that our young people can relate to, because it may inspire them to follow in their footsteps and maybe even go on to do greater things. So with that said, I would like to read this proclamation. This is a City of Passaic proclamation honoring the life and accomplishments of Michael Onaje Jackson. Whereas Michael Onaje Jackson was born on September 3rd, 1955, to Dolores Lightfoot Jackson and Edward F. Jackson, and was the brother to Rise Jackson Evans. He was the grandson of the late Mr. and Mrs. Joseph Lightfoot of Charlottesville and Dr. Luther P. Jackson, from whom the Afro-American Cultural Center at the University of Virginia is named. And whereas Michael Onaje Jackson attended Passaic High School, where he was active in school affairs as vice president of the student council and became president of his class in 1973. He designed and painted a mural on the lower level of Passaic High School, where it remained for many years. He was always involved in his community. Michael Onaje Jackson formed a swim team at the Passaic Boys and Girls Club, located on 3rd Street, Passaic, and he was selected as Man of the Year for 1973 during an awards dinner. And whereas Michael Onaje Jackson entered Yale University, where he earned his bachelor's degree in architecture in 1977. During his time at Yale University, Mr. Jackson was a member of the swim team and held free art classes for the community. Mr. Jackson entered his artwork at Passaic's annual art exhibit and was awarded the Junior Division winner. In 1982, he graduated from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT, where he earned 2 master's degrees in architecture and in urban planning. And whereas while attending Yale University, he was awarded the Edwin Foster Blair Bradford College Award for being one of Yale University's most recognized leaders, a student well-liked, admired, and trusted by all. He was a counselor, a tutor, a friend to countless of students in the university, the schools, and the neighborhoods. As a recipient of the Blair Award, his name is carved in the wood paneling of the Bradford's Common Room. And whereas his first job was at the New York Empire State Building with the Stephen Winters architectural firm, in 1989, Michael Onaje Jackson moved to the Virgin Islands with his wife Barbara Lee Jackson and their 2 children, Zahara Jackson and son Layman Jackson. After accepting a position as director of the Virgin Islands Renewable Energy Institute, becoming one of the nation's first renewable energy districts using full use of solar, wind, and other types of renewable energy, focusing on his work in energy, he formed his own company, Sustainable Systems and Design International, SSDI. The demand of his company's services took him to many foreign countries as a speaker and for projects and contracts. So esteemed was his work that he was awarded the U.S. Environmental Protection Man of the Year. In 2009, Michael Onaje Jackson was recognized by the Congressional Black Caucus in the House of Representatives for Black History Month for being best known in the Virgin Islands and Caribbean region as a community partner who tirelessly promotes earth-friendly infrastructure and facility designs, engineering, and implementation. He began his work when he revitalized that bad solutions, or rather when he realized that bad solutions for development in the Caribbean were leading to divisions in communities and environmental damage. Deep down, he knew that a lot of it had to do with developers not being armed with better solutions and designs at the outset of their conception process. Therefore, he took action. He was proactive. He determined that it was not enough to simply identify a problem. In this world, there are many that can identify problems, but a select, unique few who feel so compelled, so driven by an understanding that their talents, their gifts, and their abilities are not intended for themselves, but rather for the betterment of those around them, for the world that is to come. He took it upon himself to share his ideas, to share his professionalism, his training, his education, to make the world that he lived in a better place. And this is the reason why we come together as a community, to honor his legacy, to honor his family, to thank you, Mr. Lora. Thank you so very much for all that you invested in this and for bringing this program here today. So the proclamation now reads, now therefore, I, Hector C. Lora, Mayor of the City of Passaic, along with the Passaic City Council members, they're all present, they're right there. Council President Shea, Councilman Joe Garcia, Councilman Dr. Love, Councilwoman Tanya Mello, Councilman Hyam Monk, Councilman Daniel Shorts, Councilwoman Maritza Colon Montañez. If they'd like to say anything, no? Okay, we're good. Along with the Passaic City Council members and residents of our city, honor the memory of Mr. Michael Onaje Jackson for his dedication to the environment, to numerous achievements and everlasting impact to our community and beyond. I present this proclamation to his mother.
How much I appreciate this, because I'm 93 and I can take this on in spirit and in acknowledgement, and I appreciate it so much. And I want to say we have the best mayor. Yeah. Much has been done while it's just your third term.
My second.
Oh, I'm moving your head. But anyway, I hope you will continue to have good health and do great things in shape, which is an uplifting thing for all of us. And I'm sure that you're going to measure up to that. Thank you.
Thank you. Now I have one surprise for her. I do have one surprise for you. This is something that I hadn't shared with her, but I was waiting for this occasion to share with all of you. Because of his amazing accomplishments, and because of the inspiring story that I believe will touch lives of our youth and our community, and the fact that he went from Passaic High School to Yale, and he continued his accomplishments not just here, but started moving those efforts globally. Because we are ending the month of September, I will officially present before the council as mayor's executive request to have the last week of September be considered Sustainability Week, honoring Mr. Michael Onaje Jackson, and we're going to for the city of Passaic, and we're going to put these posters up for the rest of this week. They're going to stay up so that we can invite young people and members of our communities so that they may also know the accomplishments and efforts and inspire our youth. We're also going to share you'll hear about this later. He wrote a book, Sustainable Action for Everyone. Sustainable Action for Everyone. So I'm going to be very excited to present at our next council meeting a request from my office to have the last week of September to be considered Sustainability Week in Passaic in honor of Mr. Michael Onaje. During that week, we will have activities and recreation that will help us in order to consider green infrastructure, environmentally important initiatives for environmental justice. We're going to move on to try to collaborate with the school to ensure that there is a focus for our students in education, and that way perhaps inspire the next generation of Passaic High School graduates that go on to Yale, Harvard, Oxford, Columbia, or wherever they choose to go, and remind them that they can make a difference as well. Thank you so very much.